Hi, folks. We're back once again here at the Ghetto Fabulous Studios, where we're talking trash about whatever we want to talk trash about. Yes, I can't afford therapy, but I can afford you. Thanks so much for your support. Now, let's get on to a topic that's near and dear to my heart: bigotry, hatred. I can't stand people that prejudge with no knowledge of the person they're judging. Period. You don't judge people by the color of their skin or where they go to church or how they dress, unless, of course, they act stupidly. Then you judge them on their actions, not because they chose to wear a pink shirt today, or they chose to wear a blue shirt today, or they chose to wear a skirt instead of slacks, or they choose to wear heels instead of sandals, or tennis shoes instead of dress shoes, or jeans instead of khakis. You're wasting so much time on this minutia. We keep hearing where, oh, our president is hated because he's a black man. I don't care what color you are. Incompetence comes in all sizes, shapes, and colors. Doesn't matter whether you're skinny, fat, tall, short, beautiful, ugly. Doesn't matter. Incompetence is incompetence. Somebody show me where this man has competently discharged the office of president, and then we can talk. I don't hate him because he's black. I applaud America for looking past skin color and electing the candidate that they thought was best for the office. However, that was where my agreement with the American people stops. The majority of you voted for him. I understand that. I get that. Why, I have no idea. Now, let's get back to this bigotry thing. For those of you that have small children, you understand this. You take your kid at a very early age and you put them in a room full of all races, and guess what? They're all going to either get along or they're not on their actions, not the color of their skin. Bigotry is learned. Bigotry is taught. What are you teaching your kids? Mine learned that you look in the eyes of another human being and see the content of their heart. You don't judge somebody because they have a different haircut than you, or because they wear glasses or they don't wear glasses, or they have a physical impairment, or they're in a wheelchair. You don't look at the chair, you look in the eyes. You don't look at the skin, you look in the eyes. Now, this could be taken on so many different levels, folks. I hear a lot from all you single ladies. You know, the eyes are up here. You know the old saying, the eyes are up here. What color are my eyes? Well, I can say for certain, as a man, I don't judge women by their boobs or their butt. I judge women by how they act and how they carry themselves and how they treat others. And yes, I know what color it is. I can get past thinking with the little head and think with the bigger head. Oops, I got that backwards. Little joke. Anyway, we as a society have been conscious of race for many, many years now. I think it's time to stop being conscious of race and start being conscious of achievement, of value, of content, of meaning. What does someone mean? What do they do? Do they say it but don't do it? Or do they do it without saying it? This goes further. Religious freedom, which is being raped constantly. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Buddhist. I don't care if you're Hindu. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care if you're agnostic. I don't care. It's your right to believe what you believe. It is not your right, however, to inflict that on me. That's offensive. Want to be offended? There it is. Leave religion out of the politics of mankind. Separation of church and state, you've heard this before. What does that really mean? Now, we all are driven by our moral convictions. I'll get it out. We're driven by our moral convictions. What we were taught, what we have witnessed, what we have been party to. You only are as good as what you know, unless you're willing to admit you don't know enough. And once you can get past your ego and say, okay, I know that if X happens plus Y, I'm going to get Z in every situation. That's a situation where you can prejudge. Otherwise, you're barking up the wrong tree. You are laying ghosts of your past on others. And I do it too. Because of fear of being hurt, fear of being wronged, fear of being associated with something that you don't morally believe. Now, how far do your moral convictions carry you? I mean, that and $1.50 will buy you a cup of coffee, right? However, I believe that our morals define how we treat others. If my moral convictions tell me to do no harm to others, unless it's in defense of my family or my life, then that's the way I should act all the time. Now, that can be defined in so many different ways. Defense of my family, defense of my life. Well, what's threatening my life? Right now, here in the Ghetto Fabulous Studios, I'm not threatened. Nobody's here to knock the doors down. Nobody's here to take away my freedoms. Nobody's here to take my money or my things or my life. Do I own a gun? That's for you to decide. Do you think I own a gun? That's none of anybody's business. Do I own a knife? Well, I've got to cut up food somehow. Do I own a baseball bat? Sure, but it's a little wee tiny baseball bat. And it was a souvenir my son brought home from a baseball game. Does that make me a vigilante because I own a baseball bat? Or I own a kitchen knife? Does it make me a vigilante because I'm pro self-defense? Does that make me a hater? Does that make me afraid? No. It is a logical and proper response to the hatred, anger, and misdirection of others. It doesn't mean that I'll use it. It doesn't mean that I won't. It just means that I am willing to say that I am not able to decide at any given moment whether or not I'll need one of those items to protect my family or my life. That doesn't mean I want to go out and strap sheets on myself and string people up because of the color of their skin. That doesn't mean that because I'm of Appalachian descent, that's hillbilly for everybody that isn't offended by the word hillbilly, that I want to go out and protest anything to do with another race's beliefs. To each his own. To each his own. If you want a Christmas tree, you have a Christmas tree. But don't stick it out on a public street. If you want the 10 Commandments, put the 10 Commandments up on your wall. But don't put them out on a public street. If you want to be straight, be straight. But don't go rub everybody's nose in it. If you want to be gay, be gay. It's who you are. Heterosexual, homosexual, does not matter. Why we are discriminating against people because of their sexuality is beyond belief. Why we report these things in the news, so-and-so came out, or so-and-so got married to so-and-so, or who cares? I can give a fat rat's rump. Therapy part 2. Now, all of that being said, put aside and encapsulated in, this is dumb. And let me categorize it. Judging by skin color. Judging by socioeconomic standing. Judging by sexuality. Judging by body type. Dumb. Stupid. Misinformed. Now, people come up with the profiling. Whoa, you're profiling. Okay. If I am a white guy in a primarily black neighborhood that has seen large amounts, statistically tracked large amounts of white on black crime, the cops should stop me and question me for the defense of the citizenry of that township, that borough, that city, that neighborhood. Vice versa. If I am a black man in a predominantly white neighborhood, and statistically there has been increases in black on white crime, that man should be stopped and questioned for the safety of the citizenry. Not harassed, not given a hard time. May I see your license and registration? Run the license. You'll know in 10 minutes whether this guy's kosher or not. That doesn't mean you toss his car, throw him out, and have somebody stick their hand up his rear end to see if he's smuggling rocks. That means you take a prophylactic precaution for the safety of that individual and the safety of the citizenry in that area. The same with airplanes. Oh, you shouldn't racial profile Muslims, or you shouldn't racially profile people of Asian descent or Indonesian descent, or blah 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 blah. Statistically, those are the people that have hijacked airplanes. Those are the people that have flown them into buildings. Those are the people that have tried to make bombs out of underwear and shoes. For the safety of the citizenry, you run a basic check. Simple as that. Nobody needs to know about it. It doesn't need to be plastered all over CNN. It needs to be privately, quietly done in a respectful manner to maintain that individual's rights. Simple as that. It doesn't have anything to do with racial profiling. It has everything to do with how you execute prophylactic law enforcement. Now, in all defense of those who have been unrightly profiled, there's good cops and there's bad cops. And when you take an individual and put them in the stress that law enforcement brings to them, at some point they're going to screw up or they're going to snap. You cannot, will not get perfection from any human being, no matter what. Okay, can we forgive some guy for tossing a kid that looked like he was up to no good? Yeah, but can we forgive him for roughing the kid up? No. So each situation has to be judged on the weights and merits. What actually happened? What was said? What was done? They're talking about coming out with individual cameras that the cops will wear on their uniform. I think this is a good idea because police officers on a regular basis are getting disrespected across the board, red, yellow, black, white. Doesn't matter what race you are, the cops are being disrespected, which in turn puts them on defense, which makes their job 3 times more stressful. Now, I'm a homophobe because I don't like certain behaviors. It's just that I don't personally choose to be involved in those behaviors. I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own home as long as you're hurting no one. That doesn't make me a homophobe. That makes me who I am. It's my choice. Oh, I feel so much better having that off my chest. I hope that you folks take to heart the fact that race, sexuality, socioeconomic standing, body type have very little to do with the content of someone's heart. Be nice to someone today. Do something without them asking. Be grateful for what you have. Show gratitude whenever possible. And show compassion at all times. You'll be a lot happier. Take care.